sure beats driving.
I'm sure.
Oh, that for sure.
Good evening and welcome to the September 28th Common Council meeting. Clerk will call the roll, please.
Anderson,
Present.
Riley,
Present.
Markham,
Here.
Jarvis, Fowler, Williams,
Here.
Sedlacek,
Present.
Hanson.
Here.
Let's back up for a second. I believe I said September 28th,
25th,
25th.
yes.
My fault. Let the record show that we have a quorum. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Talk about this, right? Katrina Team or you want me to?
Next item on the agenda is the approval of items for the consent agenda. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated.
So moved. Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll.
Williams,
Here. Yes.
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 Riley,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Jarvis, Sedlacek, Markham.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item 4, the audience portion. This is where we ask the audience to come and express themselves, and you get to talk and we get to listen. Tonight, no one has signed in. We do continue to encourage you to come forward and talk with the council. Moving on, item 5, ordinances. An ordinance amending section 7-4-4, paren C, paren 1 of the municipal code of the city of Plymouth, changing the transient merchant registration fee, ordinance number 21. This is the first presentation, recommended by the Finance and Personnel Committee on September 17th. I'll ask Clerk Huberty to summarize this.
Thank you, Mayor. This discussion came up during my budget presentation to the Finance and Personnel Committee. that we haven't really changed the fees for transient merchant licenses in a long time. I did some surveys of local municipalities comparable. Both the city of Sheboygan and the city of Sheboygan Falls have a $100 fee. We currently are at $25, and I did some research on the Clerks Network and other communities, and there was different things all over the board. And the second meeting with the Finance and Personnel Committee, they suggested that we increase it to $75 to better cover the costs. The police department does have to do background checks, and we do issue a card to them. And the other additional request from the committee is that if they fail to file an application, if for some reason someone reports somebody doing business without a license, that fee then becomes double at $150.
Thank you, Clerk Huberty. That is the first presentation, and we'll have a follow-up on that at the next council meeting. Next item on the agenda is the consent, Alderman Hanson.
I move to waive the second reading and approve the ordinance as printed.
I will second that, Alder Anderson.
We have a first and a second to waive the second presentation and approve the ordinance as stated. I would comment on this, as in all items on the council agenda, that they are for review in the clerk's office and on the city website as well. Any other comments? All in favor of waiving the second presentation on the ordinance as ordinance number 21, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
No? Motion carried, thank you. The consent agenda, as I mentioned, items on there are available for review in the clerk's office and on the city website. All items on the consent agenda were approved a few minutes ago. Item 7 is not needed tonight, as no items were removed from the consent agenda. Item 8,
Oh, I think we need to have a motion to approve item numbers 6A through E, correct?
That's correct, that's how the ordinance is
yes,
written. There's
Right.
been discussion as to whether we really need to approve it twice, and how the ordinance is currently written is that you're approving the items on the
On
consent
the list.
agenda, and then you're actually voting on those up or down.
correct.
Separately.
Thank you, that's a
Two
good correction.
approvals.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items
I think I did, but I'll say
A
it again.
through E.
I make a motion to approve consent agenda items A through E.
I
Correct.
second that.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Alderman Hanson.
I'm want to look into it to see, because I think we're approving this twice. And so I would like to, the way the mayor was possibly going to be doing it, maybe do it that particular direction, so we don't necessarily vote on it twice, but we'll look into it more, so.
It's a good question, and it certainly doesn't hurt to double check it. This is not a complete pass, incomplete pass, or drop pass, or anything like that. We operate better than the officials at the Packer game last night. Little side comment there, so. Sidebar. Sidebar. Okay. And any comments? Clerk will call the roll.
Markham. Sedlacek.
Yes.
Jarvis. Hanson.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Consent agenda items are approved. Thank you. Moving on, item 7 is no longer needed, removing any items. Item 8, Public Works and Utility Committee. Item A, discussion and recommendation by council regarding the 2013 water service replacement project funding. Alderperson Jarvis.
I move that the council approve $750,000 toward the water replacement service project and the 2014 Highway 67 DOT project.
Second, Alder Anderson.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Alderman Sizlacek.
does this motion only need to be to, ask for dollar amount and not where it's coming from?
Just to clarify, we're just saying, where that we're gonna be placing $750,000 onto the bond refinancing that we're going to be doing this fall.
And that's what I was wondering, because
For
that
these
wasn't,
projects.
that wasn't in the motion.
Yeah, so
Okay.
to clarify
I'll
that.
include that, the source of funding would be the 2012
Bond refunding.
bond refinancing.
Second agree to that?
Yes.
Motion is amended to include the additional language. Any other questions?
Just-
Alderperson
Yeah,
Jarvis.
just for information for the rest of the council. This has to do with the requirements that we have to replace 91 lines, and that would be approximately $450,000. And if you add on the other 21, it goes up to about $750,000. And if there is any remaining funds, then that would be moved towards the mandatory 2014 Highway 67 project.
Thank you. Any other comments? Clerk will call the roll.
Williams,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Jarvis.
Yes.
Sedlacek,
Yes.
Markham.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Item 9, announced public hearing on October 9th in City Hall, room 302, that's the council chambers, 128 Smith Street, Plymouth, Wisconsin, for ordinance number 19 and ordinance number 20, to amend the City of Plymouth Comprehensive Planned Land Use Map from single-family residential to general industry, and section 13-1-22 zoning map of the zoning code of the City of Plymouth from single-family residential to light industrial regarding 104 Main Street and 224 Spring Street. Moving on, item 10, Chair will entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85 per N1 per NF concerning financing, medical, social, or personal histories or disciplinary data for specific persons, etc.
So moved, Alderman Riley. Second, Alder Hanson.